says you just wind them around your fork. I will learn to do it if it kills me.
$1, 625 lira, $10 is 6,250 lira, $1,000, 625,000 lira, $10,000.
After all, Italian fashions are the best in the world now. I'll get myself something just like Jackie Kennedy's.
Have we met somewhere before, signorina? Non abbiamo già incontrati?
Something's wrong with those engines. I can hear it. Oh boy. I knew I should have taken a boat.
What an idiot. Washing the blood off that knife in a bathtub. Even a public washroom would have been better. Besides, poison is shorter and safer. Anyway, I guess I did it on page 67.
May I? Would you like one?
No, thank you. I have my own. I forgot them.
Please, take one of mine.
Well, all right. Thank you very much.
Here, you can keep it. I have another one. Take it, please.
All right, I will. Smooth, isn't he? But nice. Marvelous, his Latin impetuosity. Ah, Italy, Rome, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Marcello Mastroianni. The sun, the ruins. A whole month. No typewriter, no switchboard. Just Rome. I know it will be wonderful.
May I have your attention, please? We are about to land. Will you please fasten your seatbelts? Attenzione, il volo della TWA numero 208 è in arrivo da Londra e da New York. Attention please, TWA flight 208 is arriving from London and New York.
What's going on here? What are you doing?
Take it easy.
Well, you'll do what you have this time. Now open your bag and let's have a look. Is this your usual supply? Well, well, well. Only cigarette this time?
Cigarettes.
Must be something more than that.
Thank you.
Who said the Italians were so polite?
The bus. Oh, no. You had your suitcase stolen that way. No, thanks. Better not take any chances. Does Ethel Wicknell Bertocci live here?
Miss Drowson?
Yes.
Come in. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt you?
No. It's all right.
Thank goodness you've come, Miss Drowson.
I got here just in time.
Permit me to introduce myself, Marcello Bassi. I'm the doctor.
A doctor?
Yes. Mrs. Wignall is not at all well.
Oh.
But don't be so concerned, or else she'll be alarmed. Here's a nice surprise for you.
You should have been here half an hour ago. Well, aren't you going to kiss me? So you finally made it to Rome. How was your trip? Oh, but first tell me about your dear mother. Is she well? A silly question to ask. She's always been healthy as a horse. But then so have I. Somehow I haven't been well since Augusto died. You knew him, didn't you? Of course not. You weren't even born then. His picture is hanging in your room. I had a little altar built here for him. You see, I couldn't bear looking at his picture. It made me too sad. My dear, you must be tired. Go up and rest. Now, don't argue. I don't want to hear a single word. Well, aren't you going to kiss me? Go on. Hurry. Nora, you must get to know Marcello. And Marcello, pretty girl, isn't she? I hope you make the most of your trip.
I don't want to alarm you, Miss Straussen, but you must be very careful to see that the Signora doesn't get too excited. It's very dangerous. Very. I must go now. Oh, her heart medicine's on the table beside her bed. If she should have any trouble breathing, she has bronchitis as well, or a pain of any kind, call me at once. I'll be at the hospital. Here's the number. It's just on the Spanish Steps, not very far from here, first street to the left.
But it won't be necessary, will it?
Well, let's hope not.
It's only the second time I've ever seen her, but I'm already very fond of her. She will be all right, won't she? She must.
We'll do our best. Why don't you call me at the hospital anyway, so that I know everything's okay? Until tomorrow, then.
A couple of hours in Rome, and I already had my hand kissed twice. Joe knew that this time he had it made. Nothing could go wrong. He'd been too careful. That was the secret of success in this racket. Tactical planning. It was why the big boys were rolling in dough instead of being inside looking out. And after tonight, Joe was going to be one of the big boys too, no matter how many men had to die. The contact was supposed to be on the San Diego truck route 1 hour after the robbery. Joe made sure he got there first. What a storm. Listen to that rain. Sunny Italy. Well, I guess it has to rain even in Italy. The sun will come out. It'll be beautiful, romantic. Ah, Dr. Bassi. Marcello Bassi. I guess he has to kiss ladies' hands because he's Italian. But he kissed mine twice. I wonder if that means anything. Joe waited until Max had stopped the car and gotten out. Max came toward him, silhouetted in the glare of the headlights. And Joe shot him 4 times and laughed out loud. I guess I had better get to sleep. don't. You peeping Tom. Hello? Hello? Hospital? Hello? I can't hear you. Hello?
Miss! Miss! Speak to me. What happened? One drink too many, that's it. Hey, this one's dressed naked.
No! No! Don't kill me. I won't say anything. I won't say anything. Please. Please. Save me. Save me.
Just calm down and tell me what happened.
Over there. I saw her. She was dead.
What?
In her back. It was awful. It was awful. Is this paradise?
She's awake. Don't try to move. You're in a hospital. You're safe now.
Murder. Please help me. I saw a woman killed.
Everything is all right now. We know all about it. Try to rest. Try to rest.
Good morning, miss. Are you feeling better? This is Dr. Pachetti.
Please tell me, why am I here? What's the matter with me?
I'm a doctor of homicide, one might say. I'm from the police.
I'll tell you everything about it. There was a man, and he had a knife, and he stabbed her.
Miss Drawson, have you ever seen a murder before?
No, I've never seen anything like that. Never.
Tell me, do you read many murder mysteries?
You don't believe me, do you? But I saw it,
Read them all the time?
Yes,
Well, I would advise you not to read them anymore. I don't think they agree with you. Goodbye, Miss Drawson. I hope you enjoy your stay in Rome.
And Ethel. Oh, my God, I saw her dead, and then she started moving. Oh, how horrible.
Now, here we have a very interesting case. Mythomania, or compulsive lying, combined with advanced alcoholism. The patient has lost all sense of time.
What are you saying? Alcoholism? Look, Doctor, I never had a drop in my life.
Look at her. Touching combination of youth and beauty, and yet an alcoholic.
Excuse me, Professor. I'm sorry I'm late.
Marcello, please tell him who I am. Tell him I'm not crazy nor an alcoholic.
Miss Drawson, what are you doing here? Not difficult to understand what happened to you. Your arrival, being tired, shock of Mrs. Wignall's death, then on top of that being assaulted and robbed on the steps. No one can blame you for having a nervous breakdown, but now you must try and forget about it.
Look, Doctor, maybe you're right. Maybe everybody else is right. But I wasn't drunk. I never drink. What you said about the shock of Mrs. Wignall's death, I was tired. The blow on my head. But all these things happened, didn't they?
Yes.
Then why would I suddenly start imagining a ghastly murder?
Well, sometimes a blow on the head can precipitate such matters.
Are you trying to say that I was crazy?
No, don't misunderstand me.
Doctor, please, I was perfectly sane. I was right there. I saw everything. Come on, I'll show you. It was here. Right here. There. There's where he hit me.
The murderer?
No, the man who stole my purse. Then when I woke up, I heard this scream.
Go on, children. You too. sparare. Aspettami.
That's the kind of crime you see in Rome.
Are you looking for someone?
No, I'm sorry. I just thought for a moment Excuse me. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. After everything that happened, I just can't help it.
Of course, I understand. But perhaps I can help you.
Then, after I ran out of the house, it was oh so horrible. The man who stole my purse, a woman with a knife in her back.
What did the doctors say?
That I mustn't worry. It was my imagination. I'm sure that in a few days I'll be able to walk past the Spanish steps without giving it a thought. I'll forget all about the poor woman who was killed. Oh, poor Ethel. How could it be very imagine? Oh, Reverend.
Excuse me. May I speak to you a moment, please? I heard about poor Ethel. Oh, she was such a dear. I was very fond of her. I'm sure that she would be very happy to know that we met, even like this. My name is Laura Craven-Tarani. I couldn't help overhearing. Are you alone in Rome? If I can help you in any way, let me know.
Thank you. But haven't we met somewhere before?
Mrs. Tarani, I'm delighted that you two have met. Miss Straussen needs some friends of her own age. My mind can rest at ease now.
Do you like living here? I mean, in this part of the city.
Yes, of course, it's the most beautiful part of Rome. And now let's go in and plan your holiday. What's left of it, huh? My husband's Italian, but he works in Switzerland, so he's almost never here. Oh, I feel so lonesome sometimes. Of course, I go up to Bern to see him quite often, but I don't like it there. I would never live there. Well, this is not a very large house. It was once a sculptor studio, but we adore it. What a pity we can't stay here enough.
It is beautiful here. Aren't you lucky to have a house like this in Rome? It must be heavenly to live here.
Wait a minute. tomorrow I'm going to burn. And the house is going to be empty. Why don't you come and stay here?
No, I
But don't be silly. Why not? Look, you see, they leave the house in a mess, and when nobody sees it's worse. They make me so nervous. You'd do me a favor if you'd agree to stay here.
But my mother...
Oh, but your mother would be more than happy. Why don't you call her right now and tell her that you're staying with an old friend of Anne?
Look, Mother, murders do not happen just like that here. Yes, you're right. You're right. From reading too many murder mysteries. All right, Mother. I'll be careful. All right. Don't worry, darling. Okay, I'll write you. Goodbye.
Good. And now let's have a nice cup of tea. And then we'll just have time to get you all settled before my nephews come home. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to take them to burn with me. Sit down. Oh, by the way, when my husband is not here, I usually sleep in this bed. Lovely, isn't it? Look, like a figure in a painting. Of course, the portinaio will do all the cleaning, so you won't have to bother about anything. Another thing. Come with me. This is my husband's studio. He keeps it locked all the time. One less responsibility for you, isn't it?
Excuse me, no one answered the door, so I opened it with my key. I am the portiera. I am sorry if I frightened you.
Well, it's all right. I just didn't hear anybody ring.
Excuse me, miss. There was a man here with a form for you to fill out with your name and everything. He said he was from the police, but to me he looked like someone out of a job. There is no hurry. You can do it tomorrow.
Oh, this will only take a minute. And then we'll decide when you can come to do the cleaning.
You can depend on me, miss. It will be nice to have someone living in this house again. It's been closed for so long. Signor Torrani hardly ever comes back here anymore. And Signora Laura doesn't like to stay here after that night.
What night?
Oh, it was terrible. While it's been a long time, it's happened years ago.
What happened years ago?
Don't you know? It was in all the papers. Ah, of course, I guess you weren't in Italy then. It's almost 10 years now, but I still remember that night like it was yesterday. Imagine, poor Signora Laura's sister was murdered, stabbed to death right in front of this house.
So it wasn't only a dream. I did see something. Murder that happened 10 years ago. But how can that be? Yet I saw it happen. I didn't only imagine it. It was no hallucination. Still, how could I see now something that happened so long ago? How? Newspaper clippings. Third victim found on the Spanish Steps. woman stabbed to death. Alphabet murderer strikes again. The third and latest victim of the mystery killer is Emily Craven, a young heiress. The victims to date have all been young women, killed in alphabetical order. A, B, and now C. Hello? Hello?
You understand that it is an understatement when I say a steady hand is necessary for the partial removal of the anterior lobes. Fortunately, it is a very rare operation. But, my dear, I'm sure that you realize that we neurosurgeons are, as it were, the explorers in the field of medicine, the most daring, with the greatest skill, facing the greatest risks.
But what does medicine say about ectoplasm?
No, it is not a joke. Your case is a most interesting one. You will recall that I said so at the hospital. And at that time, I had no way of knowing that the crime had actually taken place. Miss Rawson has relived an event which happened 10 years ago, the Craven murder. Although it is difficult to believe, it is quite possible. This, of course, is something more closely related to metapsychosis than to modern medicine. In Miss Rawson's case, it is improper to refer to ectoplasm or hallucinations, but rather to something which the mediums term transposition.
Even mediums eat, your food will get cold. Do you mean, Doctor, that Nora has found in herself a witness to the Craven murder?
No, no, no. I don't go as far as to say that. But I do say
Nature
that this
has
lovely
endowed her
child...
with extraordinary extrasensory perception. She has looked into the past, perhaps only by accident. But once she masters her powers, learns to control them, there will be nothing she cannot do.
You see, my dear, I've brought you here this evening because this place holds a strange fascination for me. It provokes in me an effect much the same as that which you experienced the other night. A form of resurrection of the memory. For instance, standing here alone with you now, I can almost feel a toga on my shoulder, a wreath of laurel on my brow. I stand awaiting my chariot, my Mauritanian horses.
Then you've been gifted too, Professor.
Yes, that's why I feel so close to you, my dear, now that I know your whole story.
Do you? You know, it's so hard for me to explain, but I just can't get the picture of that woman out of my mind.
I know.
And now, I know it sounds silly, but somehow I keep thinking I am going to be the next victim.
But, my dear, the last killing was 10 years ago. And the killer vanished after the Craven murder. And even if he should reappear, it would be a long time before he would get to the letter R.
But, Professor, my name is not Rawson, it's Drowson with a D. What's that? So much today, I bet I couldn't tell the difference between the Colosseum and Castel Sant'Angelo. Let me see what I've got to do tomorrow. Let's see, the Museo Capitolino.
Capitolino.
The Museo Etruschi.
Etrusco. But will you be safe all by yourself?
Don't be silly. Of course I'll be safe. Look, Marcello, I told you. I've forgotten everything about mysteries and murders. Now I'm just a simple tourist staring at the ruins. So you don't have to drag me out of a restaurant just because someone happens to mention the word murder.
But I only wanted to...
Never mind. I've forgotten about it.
But sometimes you seem so helpless all alone that I feel it's my duty to stay.
I am not quite as alone as you think. As a matter of fact, I have to get that. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Is anyone here?
Come in. Come in, Signorina. Don't be afraid. You have to come to me. I can't move. Straight ahead to the last door. Are you alone? No one followed you? You must be careful. Very careful. After all, you have seen too much, haven't you? And your last name begins with D. Now, do you understand? Come in. Don't be afraid. Come in, Signorina. Straight ahead to the last door.
Crazy?
Marcello, there's a man in there. Come, Marcello! He told me to come here. The beginning I saw really happened. He said he'd tell me the truth.
Oh, you're starting
No!
again.
No! No!
Where is he?
Marcello, he was here. He was talking to me. You don't believe me, do you?
I didn't say that.
Marcello, what is it? Marcello, look.
Come in, Signorina. Straight ahead to the last door. You must be careful. After all, you have seen too much, haven't you? And your last name begins with D.
Well, it's clear somebody's trying to frighten you.
You see now? If I'd run away, nobody would have believed me.
But at least now we have a clue. The apartment belongs to someone named Landini.
Landini. Where have I heard that name before? The newspapers. Sure. It was in one of those newspaper articles about the murders. Come on, I'll show you. Someone's taken them. Someone has been coming into this house. Marcello, let's call the police.
Wait a minute. Before you get excited, think a minute. Don't you have a maid?
Yes, a portiera, but...
And doesn't she have the key?
Yes.
Well, then she must have taken it. You can't call the police for that.
I guess not. What time is it now?
5:30.
Look, why don't we wait until morning? And then we can go to that house and look for Landini. You're not tired, are you?
Oh, no, no. Besides, I wouldn't leave you alone.
Good. Why don't you wait for me there? And I'll go and take a shower, okay?
This is where we'll find Landini. Mr. Landini, please.
That's 2,000 lire in advance.
Look, I'm afraid there must be a misunderstanding. I'm sorry, we're just looking for Mr. Landini.
Of course. It's 7 in the morning. It seemed a little strange.
Well, is Landini here or isn't he?
Mr. Landini never comes here. Never during the daytime, only at night. You may find him at the printing shop on Via Jenner, number 36.
We want to talk to Landini. Do you know where... Do you know where he is?
If you want some galley-proof red, we can do it. He never comes here.
No galley-proofs.
We're looking for Landini, you understand?
We want to talk to him.
Ah. Then try the Trattoria Potaro. It's right around the corner. That's where he'll be if they're still giving him credit. And he just left a few minutes ago. I'm sorry. He said he was going out to Ostia. There is a waiter at Kursa who owes him some money.
I feel a little guilty today. We didn't find Landini. We didn't even try to go to the Etruscan Museum.
You can go to the museum any day.
You must be exhausted.
Oh, well, I'll sleep tonight. The other doctor at the hospital has got insomnia.
What is it?
Don't tell me you can't guess.
No. Marcello. No. Not now, please.
I can't wait any longer.
I can't breathe.
Nora, why don't we go inside and have a drink?
No, it's late and you have to go to the hospital. We'll see each other tomorrow.
Nora, don't go yet.
Don't look so sad. When the right time comes, you'll hear it in the sound of my voice. The way I say your name. Please go now. Please. Good night. Marcello. Marcello. There's a man in the house.
Stay where you are. Nora, call the police.
I'm Andre Landini. I hear you've been looking for me. I realize my presence here is a little melodramatic, but I assure you I didn't plan it that way. I rang the doorbell several times, but there was no answer. Then I saw a light on inside.
But I didn't leave any light on when I left.
Anyway, there was a light on. I tried the door and it was unlocked. I thought maybe something might have happened, so I came in. You arrived shortly after. Look, I have no keys to this house. Do the windows and doors look to you as though they've been forced?
You're right. Look, Somebody's been coming into this house. I'm sure of it. Who saw my newspaper clippings? It must have something to do with the alphabet murders.
Alphabet murders. That's why I'm here. I think it's time we had a long talk.
All right, then. Tell us what you know.
Well, about 10 years ago, I was a rather well-known reporter on one of the large papers here in Rome. When the first killing happened, I was interested in the story for professional reasons. But after the second killing, it became something almost personal with me. It was as if the killer were invisible. He left absolutely no clues. And then I got into kind of competition with the police trying to identify him.
Oh, I can understand that. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was absolutely certain that the killer was a sex maniac. I said so in a series of articles in which I accused the police of incompetence. Then one night, Emily Craven was murdered. Stabbed in the back, just like the others, right in front of this house. She lived here, you know, with her sister Laura, who was engaged to a Charles Turani, a psychiatrist. I met him and we discussed the case. Then he started working with me. We became good friends. As you can imagine, it was a difficult period for everyone, especially Laura. Finally, the police made an arrest. It was Turani himself who brought the man to my attention. He was a tramp called Straccianeve, a psychopath of sorts who seemed suspicious. I tracked him down and then turned him over to the police. They were never able to get anything but circumstantial evidence against him. But that in itself was pretty damning. He even confessed, but then later he denied everything in court. Anyway, he was found guilty and sent to a hospital for the criminally insane. He really was mad, you know. The newspapers gave all the credit to me and to Turani.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. No, no, no. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
I can still hear that scream. A strange thing had happened to me during this trial. Each day I became less and less sure of Straccianeve's guilt. I studied the transcripts of the trial. I even reread my own articles. And when I was finally convinced that Straccianeve was innocent, I tried to explain it to Turani, but he wouldn't listen. I began writing articles again, asking for another investigation. But it was an old story and no one cared anymore. But I kept on trying anyway. And finally, I lost my job. After that, I was alone. There was nothing I could do. But I couldn't forget about it. I always kept coming back here, trying to find something. Anything. And one morning I found you lying in front of the house. I had no idea what had happened. So I tried to bring you around by giving you some cognac. Then I heard footsteps. A policeman was coming. Since I'm not in very friendly terms with the police anymore, I decided it would be better if I just left without trying to explain why I was there. I hid where he couldn't see me and listened when you told him about seeing a woman stabbed. I tried to find out more after that. I started following you. Laura and Turani were married right after Emily's funeral. I even let them my apartment. Because naturally, Laura didn't want to stay in this house.
The one on Piazza Mincio?
Oh, yes. How did you know?
Oh, stop playing games, will you, Landini? I don't know what you're trying to do, but I know that you're involved in this. I know now what you want. Perhaps Nora has seen the killer. But how do we know that he hasn't seen her? That little episode on Piazza Mincio takes on a more serious implication now, doesn't it? The killer knows everything about her, and you're asking her to...
Marcello, why don't we tell him what happened? I want you to hear something. It's gone. Marcello, it's gone.
I'm sure that together we can find a solution. After last night, I realized that it was impossible for you to understand. But you don't know what it means to live 10 years. 10 years with a doubt. Always thinking that maybe I helped condemn an innocent man. Look at him. Do you recognize him? But you saw the murderer. Try to remember.
Nora. All right.
I can't.
Stop it now, will you? Look, if you want to figure this out, do it yourself, but leave her alone.
Perhaps if you could see him. If you met him. Yes, if you met him.
You can be sure that once you're in here, you'll never get out. Except maybe with the Undertaker. I remember him. He was one of the quiet ones. He even had long periods of absolute clarity. Well, let's see. He should be here somewhere. 1958, 1959. Here it is. He died on May 23rd, 1959. Cause of death, coronary thrombosis.
So Strachanov is dead. What are we going to do now?
If you ask me, it was too good a death for him. With a file like this. 3 victims. All of them women.
Well, thank you very much. We're sorry to have taken up so much of your
Don't
time.
mention it, Doctor.
Nora, I have to go. If I'm not at the hospital in 10 minutes, I'll lose my job.
Just a minute. Could you tell us if he had any relatives?
Yes, a daughter, Maria. She claimed the body.
Do you have her address?
She works at the laundry at Fort Italico.
Yes, she worked here, but was she ever a pain? Always acting like she was somebody. But she never had a lira. She was always borrowing from everybody. All of a sudden, she had a lot of money.
When? Where did it come from?
How would I know? Anyway, she bought her car on time, and she figured she didn't have to be nobody's servant anymore.
But didn't she ever talk to you, confide in you?
Yes, she said hello and goodbye every day.
But didn't you ever wonder where she got the money?
Listen, Signorina. When I was 20, I could have made money too, every night.
Thanks for the information.
That's all that I know.
I'm sorry if we've disturbed you. Tell me, where can I find a telephone?
You will find one there in the locker room.
Thank you. I don't think we'll find anything else here.
What do we do now?
I'll have to make a call to my office, and I know you have to be getting home. You'll find a bus stop right up there.
All right.
Hey, beautiful. You got some shape on you, all right. You want to go out and see the sights tonight? Hey, American, let me know if you get lonely.
I saw him here myself.
So what? He came back, but he said nothing.
Why did he come here?
I know nothing. Look, I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't seen anybody, and I know nothing. Is that clear? I'm busy now.
No, there's nothing new. I just wanted to know what that woman told you.
When?
Afterwards, when you went back alone.
You saw me?
Yes. I saw you from a distance. And by the time I got there, you were gone. And that woman seemed so strange, so hostile. Hello? Hello? Bandini? Can you hear me?
Yes. I was thinking. But I want to be sure. Listen, why don't we do this? Come over to my hotel in a couple of hours. I think maybe I'm on to something.
All right. I'll be there. Mr. Landini, please.
Yes, he told me to send you up. He has been meeting at the typewriter for the last 2 hours. Second floor, room 26.
Thank you. Landini? Mr. Landini? In order to save myself, I would have to kill again, but I don't have the strength to go on. First murder. Second murder. And third. And fourth.
It was a terrible experience for you. But it's all over now. And think that in 3 days' time you'll be back home again. And Marcello will be coming over right away.
I still can't believe it. Why did he do it? Why?
You read his confession. He must have thought that somehow you had found out about him.
But you must remember, we've been dealing with a psychopath. Well, let's not talk about it anymore. After all, she's been under shock for several days. Here, I've brought you some newspapers.
Thank you.
Now, all you have to do is relax and think about going home. And don't worry. You'll never get rid of me now. Your husband will be arriving tonight, won't he?
Yes, tonight at 10:30, I'm going to pick him up at the station. And don't forget that tomorrow we are going to have lunch all together.
I'll be here.
I'll show you to the door, Doctor.
I'll call you later.
Body of girl found in Tiber. Victim of brutal stabbing. According to the medical examiner, the body had been in the water for at least 2 weeks.
Do you recognize her?
Yes.
Are you sure she's the one?
Do you still think I'm imagining things? That I'm crazy?
Come with me, please. I want to show you some of her personal effects. If this button could only talk. We found it clenched in the dead woman's hand. Well, do you recognize it?
No, I don't.
All right. But if you should remember something, let us know immediately. And don't try to do any more investigating on your own. This is our job. De Maria. Goodbye, Miss Drossen. Thank you for coming.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I knew it. She took the button.
I'm sure I've seen it before. But where? Wait a minute. That day I arrived. Now I know. That button came from a blazer. Or maybe a sailing jacket. It's in there. It has to be. I still have time. They won't be back for 20 minutes. But how can I open that door? Operator? Could I speak to Dr. Bassi, please? No, it's all right. I'll go back. There's a button missing. Laura! Yes. There is a button missing. You... No. I can't believe it. And you... Even you look at me with fear. But why? Can't you see I'm not to blame? You... No. Not you. Please. Yes, of course. No one was ever able to find out. The newspapers printed story after story, but they never came close to learning the truth. I saved all the articles. Even the pictures of the girls. Come and see. Come. Come. I kept everything. Look. You see? Every time I saw a story about one of the murders, I cut it out and saved it. Look. This was the first one. This started the alphabet murders. The poor girl. She'd never done anything to me. But I had no choice. It was all part of my plan. You understand, don't you? Look at this. Look. It was a marvelous idea to use the system of the alphabet. A, B, C, like engrave in our name. You're horrified, aren't you? Like all the others. Like my sister when she saw the knife. I kept her waiting. I made her long for the end to come. Look at her face. You can tell what she was like. Can you see how hateful she was? Can you? She was always against me. She hated me. She wanted to have me committed, so she would have been the only one to get all the money. All of it, for herself. So I had to. I had to. Look, this is what had frightened you. Why? Why didn't you listen to it? You, just like the other ones. Like Landini. I had to kill him. And Straccianevi's daughter. She wouldn't keep quiet. She was blackmailing me. So... It wasn't just a dream, what you had at night. You really saw my husband dragging that girl from the steps. He was so frightened. What a coward. Come. Come. Look at him. Just look at him. No, I'd better not look at him or I want to stab him. I had to put up with him for years. He was always trembling with fear that everything would be discovered. He wanted to shut me up in his clinic. But I knew that he wanted to get rid of me. Laura, business. You've always been so good to me. Please let me help you now. I know that you had to. I don't have anything against you. Please believe me. I don't want to hurt you, Laura. If I had only known... No, I will not say anything.
Of course you won't say anything. I'm sorry. By the time they'll find you, it will be too late. Oh, don't be afraid. It will only take one moment. All right, I won't make you wait. I'll do it right now. I'll do it.
Mannaggia. It's them. I know I'd find them.
What peace.
Marcello, do you really love me?
Well, sometimes I wonder.
You do?
But even so, I'll marry you. Only on one condition, though.
I agree. You don't even have to tell me what it is.
No murders. No mysteries. No reading about them. No talking about them. And no thinking about them.
I caught you! You thought you could get away with it! But not this time!
Wait! I'm a doctor. I'll be right there. Nora, don't get excited. I'll take care of everything. Nora, are you all right?
Yes. Why? Something happened?